Every trader on Earth knows what a moving average is. The 50-day, the 200-day, golden crosses, death crosses. You've heard it all before, but here's what nobody tells you. The way 99% of traders use moving averages is completely backwards. They're looking at the line, but the pros, they're looking at something else entirely. Today, I'm going to show you the single most ignored moving average rule that separates amateur traders from the ones who actually make money consistently. This isn't theory. This is what institutional desks have known for decades and what retail traders completely overlook. If you've ever been stopped out right at the moving average or bought a perfect bounce only to watch it collapse, this video is for you. Let's fix your moving average game right now. The problem: why most traders fail with moving averages. Let's start with the obvious problem. Walk into any trading Discord, any Reddit thread, any YouTube comment section, and you'll see the same thing. Add the 9 EMA, the 21 EMA, the 50 SMA, the 100 SMA, the 200 SMA. Oh, and throw in VWAP for good measure. Stop. You're not analyzing the market. You're creating a rainbow mess that confuses you more than it helps. Research consistently shows that using more than 3 moving averages actually decreases your accuracy, because you get conflicting signals and analysis paralysis. But the real problem goes deeper. Most traders use moving averages as entry signals. They see price touch the 50-day and think buy. They see a golden cross and think moon. Here's the hard truth. Moving averages are not entry signals. They are trend confirmation tools. By nature, they are lagging indicators. They're based on past price data. If you're entering purely on a moving average crossover, you're already late to the move. Market wizard Marty Schwartz, one of the most successful traders, ever said it best. The 10-day EMA is my favorite indicator to determine the major trend. I call this red light, green light. When you are trading above the 10-day, you have the green light. Trading below is a red light. Notice what he said: trend determination. Not entry signals, not by triggers. Trend determination. Part 2. The secret: slope and angle analysis. Okay, here's the rule that 99% of traders ignore. It's not where the moving average is. It's the direction it's moving. Let me say that again because this is the entire video. The slope and angle of your moving average matters more than the price level. Most traders obsess over whether price is above or below the 200-day moving average. They treat it like a magical support or resistance line. But institutional traders, they care about one thing: is the moving average rising, flat, or falling? And how steep is that rise or fall? Chart 1 is a coin flip. Chart 2 is a healthy trend. Chart 3, that's when you pay attention. But here's what most traders miss entirely. The angle of the moving average predicts trend strength before price confirms it. Watch this. As a trend matures, the moving average doesn't just stop rising overnight. It starts to flatten. The angle decreases. The momentum is bleeding out. This happens 3, 4, sometimes 5 candles before you get the actual breakdown or crossover. If you're only watching price versus the moving average, you miss this early warning completely. But if you're watching the slope, you see the trend losing steam in real time. This is why professional traders use moving averages as momentum gauges, not as arbitrary lines on a chart. Part 3. The 3 angles rule. Let me give you a practical framework you can use immediately. I call it the 3 angles rule. Pick one moving average that matches your time frame. I'll use the 50 EMA for this example, but you can use the 24 short-term or 200 for long-term. Now, forget price for a second. Just look at the line itself. Angle 1, the 45-degree rule when your moving average is rising at roughly a 45-degree angle. You have a healthy, sustainable trend. This is the sweet spot. Not too hot, not too cold. Trends at this angle tend to last longest. Angle 2, the flatline warning. When the moving average starts to flatten when the slope approaches 0 degrees, that's your early warning. The trend is losing momentum. This doesn't mean reverse your position immediately, but it means stop adding to it. Tighten your stops. Start looking for exit signals. Angle 3, the parabolic danger zone, when the moving average goes parabolic when the angle exceeds 60 or 70 degrees. That's not bullish. That's a blow-off top or capitulation bottom. The trend is unsustainable. Everyone who was going to buy has already bought. The moving average is vertical because price went vertical. And vertical moves always revert to the mean. Look at any bubble in history. Bitcoin in 2021, Tesla in 2020, the Nasdaq in 1999. The moving average didn't just rise, it went vertical. And what happened right after? The slope couldn't sustain itself. Gravity took over. This is the rule 99% of traders ignore. They see a vertical moving average and get FOMO. Pros see a vertical moving average and get cautious. Part 4. The Confluence Trick. Now, let's combine slope with price action. This is where it gets powerful. Scenario A. Price pulls back to a flat moving average. What happens? Usually, it breaks through. A flat MA has no momentum. It's not attracting buyers or sellers. It's just there. This is where most MA bounce trades fail. Scenario B. Price pulls back to a rising moving average. What happens? Much higher probability of a bounce. Why? Because the rising MA represents active buying pressure. It's a dynamic trend, not a static line. Scenario C. Price pulls back to a falling moving average in a downtrend. What happens? It's resistance. Price approaches, hits the falling MA, and gets rejected. The angle confirms the sellers are still in control. This is why institutional desks care less about whether price is above or below a line, and more about what the line is doing. A stock can be above its 200-day moving average and still be a terrible long if that 200-day is rolling over and starting 2-point down. Conversely, a stock can be below its 200-day. But if the 200-day has flattened out and started to curl upward, that might be your early accumulation zone. Part 5. Practical setup, the slope scanner. Let me show you exactly how to apply this. I want you to strip your chart down, remove the clutter. You only need two averages. 1. A fast EMA for momentum, I use the 20 period. 2. A slow SMA for trend structure. I use the 50 period. Now, here's your checklist before taking any trade. Step 1. Is the slow MA 50 SMA pointing up? If no, don't go long. If it's pointing down, don't go short. Direction first. Step 2. Is the fast MA 20 EMA above the slow MA? If yes, we're in a bullish alignment. If no, we're not. Step 3. What's the angle of the fast MA? Is it rising at 45 degrees? Good. Is it going vertical? Be careful. Is it flattening? Tighten stops. Step 4. Only enter when price pulls back to a rising moving average. Never enter on a flat MA. Never chase a parabolic one. This is what I mean when I say 99% of traders ignore the slope. They'll buy a perfect bounce off a flat 50-day moving average and wonder why they got stopped out. They didn't get stopped out because moving averages don't work. They got stopped out because they ignored what the moving average was telling them about momentum. Part 6. The psychology behind it. Why does this work? Because moving averages aren't magic. They're mathematical representations of market memory and consensus. When a moving average is rising at a steady angle, it means the average participant is profitable and adding 2 positions. there's a bid under the market. Institutional accumulation is happening. When it flattens, it means the average participant is breaking even. The bid disappears. Distribution begins. When it goes vertical, it means the average participant is euphoric. Everyone's in. There's nobody left to buy. The market has to purge the weak hands. The slope tells you the story of market psychology in a single line. Price alone can't do that. Price is just a number. The angle of the moving average is the narrative. Part 7. Common mistakes to avoid. Before we wrap up, let me save you some pain. Here are the mistakes I see constantly. Mistake 1. Using too many moving averages. Stick to 2 to 3 max. More lines equals more confusion equals worse decisions. Mistake 2. Treating moving averages as exact support, resistance. They're zones, not laser-precise lines. Give them wiggle room. Mistake 3. Ignoring market context. A rising moving average in a strong sector is different from a rising moving average in a weak market. Always check the broader trend. Mistake 4. Forgetting that moving averages are lagging. They confirm trends. They don't predict them. Use them for context, not prophecy. Mistake 5. The big one chasing vertical moving averages. If the angle is over 60 degrees, you're not missing out. You're about to get punished. So here's your homework. Open your charts right now. Strip them down. Pick one or two moving averages that match your time frame and trading style. And for the next week, don't look at price versus the moving average. Look at the slope of the moving average itself. Watch how it flattens before breakdowns. Watch how it warns you when trends are overheating. Watch how a gentle 45-degree rise sustains itself for weeks. This one shift from level watching to slope watching will change how you see charts forever. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe. I drop trading psychology and technical analysis breakdowns every week that actually make you money, not just sound smart. Drop a comment below. What's your experience with moving averages? Have you been using them wrong this whole time? Be honest, I was guilty of it for years. And if you want me to break down how to combine this slope analysis with volume, profile, or order flow, let me know in the comments. That's a video for another day. Trade the slope. Ignore the noise. I'll see you in the next one.